Okay, so Joe, porn will get all the headlines in this movie, but it's not really about porn.
Well said, sir.
There we
well
go.
said.
It's all, you tell me, you wrote it, it's all about how we objectify things and people and the
That's
shallowness
just
of
it.
society.
Yeah.
And that's what you wanted to write about.
Yeah, I think oftentimes we do treat each other more like things than like people, and I think sometimes the media we consume can contribute to that, or maybe better said, the attitude that we take towards the media we consume. You've got these two characters, John that I play and Barbara that Scarlett plays, and he watches a lot of pornography and she watches a lot of romantic Hollywood movies, and they both have developed these unrealistic expectations of what love and sex is supposed to be.
He expects a porn star. She expects Hugh Grant to rock up
Prince Charming.
on her doorstep. Are you basically saying that now we've objectified society so much that we kind of lost touch of our humanity, that we've lost touch of what it means for two people to be chatting to each other?
I think we can, yeah. I think if we're too busy comparing our real lives with these sort of two-dimensional fantasies on screen, we're gonna miss what's so great and fun and actually sexy about real life. And that's not to say anything ill of movies. I love movies, or really even to say anything ill of pornography necessarily. I don't think it's the media that's the problem. It's the attitude or the way that we interpret the media. That if we're making these comparisons, if we're expecting real life to be the same as the items, on our checklist that we expect from our media, we're in for disappointment.
They always say write about what you know. I don't want to comment about your potential porn habit, but what we are talking about here is do you think actors are put on a pedestal? You've been obviously an actor for a long time. Do you think you're now an object in people's eyes in these sort of fake situations that we're in now, for instance?
Yeah, certainly, and I think that is a big part of where the story came from and why it's personal to me. However, I don't think it's only actors that experience this. I think everybody does. We all have a tendency to pigeonhole each other, to put each other in boxes and put labels on those boxes. I'm sure you've experienced it. I'm sure everyone in this room has experienced it. You can tell when you're talking to somebody and you can just know that they're not listening to you. They're sort of just they've already decided what you are. You know what I mean? This is kind of what this movie's about.
Is it in many respects a companion piece to 500 Days of Summer? Because your character in that film, love that film by the way,
Thank you.
Has an unrealistic expectation of women in many respects. I mean, this is obviously different, but did you have that at the back of your mind when you were writing it?
Yeah, certainly. I think that's actually a really apt comparison. And I think that the character I play in 500 Days of Summer, Tom, is in fact quite similar to the character I play in Don Jon. They look different, they have different styles and everything, but they're both, at the beginning of the story, quite selfish. It's funny because people often say to me, like, how could Summer dump Tom? What's she thinking? He was so good. I don't think he necessarily was. I think, 500 Days of Summer is from the perspective of him. So from his eyes, he's being good. But if you actually pay close attention, he's not listening to a word she says. He's just projecting his sort of ideal girlfriend onto this person. And John does the same thing.
Starring in a Hollywood movie, massive. Directing it, huge. Writing it, maybe a bit foolhardy. Did you ever sit there and think, hang on a sec, I've taken on a lot here?
I like taking on a lot. I like to work hard. But to me, these roles weren't so distinct. I had the story in my head, and while writing it, I was already thinking about what we could do with the camera, or with the editing, or with the music, and it was all just sort of one creative process to me.
In many respects, then, are you saying it was almost easier that you did it all, that you had ownership over everything because you could see the film from pen to screen?
Well, certainly, as an actor, what I'm always trying to do when I'm working for a director is understand as thoroughly as possible what the director is after so that I can deliver what he or she needs. So when I'm acting and directing, I have a perfectly thorough understanding of what the director is after. So I was able to, give me what I needed.